Hello there UKDCers. Further to the video I did a couple of days ago, a viewer, Matt, thank you very much by the way Matt, got in contact with me and said I've got a UKPK in titanium if you'd like to have a look at it. I said absolutely yes please, and here it is on the table in front of me, so we get to have a look at the original. Still in a very well kept box. The standard Spyderco affair. Let's pop that up there. And this is of course off the back of Carl Pearson starting that new Bring This Back basically campaign. And just look at it. I know a lot of people don't really like the whole titanium thing, but a lot of people also do, and I'm certainly one of them. Oh, this just feels so quality. I mean, yeah, obviously it just feels like a UKPK, but you got the lovely chamfering on the edges here. People say this is really heavy. It doesn't feel super heavy to me. Of course we have this one. It is definitely a fair bit heavier than that, but not, I don't know if I'd noticed that in my pocket. That's those two up against each other. Of course, you know, very similar. However, where they are different is in the thickness of the blade stock. So I'm just going to do it in millimeters. If we just do it just at the top there, you see that's basically 2.5mm. And this one, just there, 3.36. Let's actually get the weight of these proper. I'm sure I've weighed this before, but we'll just do it again on camera, makes it easier. So that one's 65 grams. And this one's 102. So not quite double, but you know, getting close. And of course it has that full back spring on this one, much like this one, where the FRM one, the back spring only comes to about here, and then the rest of this is just a gap, I think, if I recall correctly. This feels easier to open than this one, not by a lot though. I think I actually prefer the action of this one. It gets hung up at the half stop a lot less, whereas this one, you can actually hear it snapping into that half stop. This is S30V, just like this one here, although if they do the new sprint run of these, which it looks like they might do, Sal's mentioned he'll put it forward to management if you go and have a look on that forum. So looking good, guys. They haven't decided on a steel, like it's very early in just an idea like phase. Like I said, there's still a chance that management will be, no, we're too busy or something. So, but hey, here's hoping. Now, he said I have permission to EDC this and take this apart, which I can only EDC it so much during the quarantine, but I'll baby this a little bit anyway, because I'm really not looking to damage this. This is a very, very highly collectible piece now, but I'll likely EDC this. I'm going to try and take this apart if it's very easy. If it puts even up a slight bit of resistance, I'm just not going to, because I really am not interested in ruining this knife. Oh yes, look at that. Oh, it's actually just spinning that side. So this is a free spinning pivot. Can't say I'm a fan of that. I've just noticed. So this is, even though this is a full back spring, this is only 3, whereas this is 4. And back when they made these, I guess they're all free spinning and they're dual sided, whereas these are now not free spinning and they're only one sided. So I certainly prefer that on the newer ones. However, okay, let me grab another tool. Okay, so I just use my other bit. He did mention it might have some red Loctite on it, and like I said, if that's the case, I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to leave this one. I'm not looking to. I mean, I do have a soldering iron, and I could melt the red Loctite, but it's probably going to just be the same as this anyway. I've taken apart 2 different UKPKs, so I'll not mess too much with this. You know, he's got it nicely centered as well, so I'm nicely centered as well. So I'm not looking forward to looking to. Actually, it is a bit. There's a bit of blade play. Was that me undoing it, or? Does that actually need adjusting? I think that wants adjusting anyway. Okay. Well, in that case. Okay, so a bit of a kerfuffle. Had to use the soldering iron to melt these and trying to be careful not to stain the titanium. But I did manage to. And there you go, phosphor bronze. Give this a wipe down. I really do not want to take it out of that spring though, because that is evil. It will be such a difficulty. So the old one did not have I mean, you've probably seen the old one, but so we have this, and the older version has a spring, you know, obviously we're particularly looking at this part here on both, has a completely different spring design, which is very interesting to say the least. So at some point, that would make me wonder if on the older FRN style, they had this split design, which is a very nice design, although I do actually prefer the action of this one by a little bit. However, you can see inside there, we have a look at this. I can't tell if that's from use, but they're pretty much the same camming system at the back here, but this one's definitely less severe. Otherwise, these are actually quite similar. You know, the full back spring, about the same size up to here. It's just, you know, you're missing the 2 little notches on this one, and of course you're missing the split design on this, and you've got a big hump there, which I guess helps with this to stop spine whack. When it's closed, I can very carefully do that while it's open. Yes, yeah, it perfectly nestles in there. Whereas with this older one, which is much harder to close, there you go, it nestles like that on there. So that's a little side by side with the closest modern one available. So I'll put this back together, sort out the side to side play, and we'll go from there. So there we go. We now have absolutely perfect centering, and it doesn't move from side to side at all, and same when it's open, no side to side, and yet still a very nice smooth action. So actually having a look at the knife properly, I've actually already just carried this down to the shop quick. I can't notice this in my pocket. This is absolutely no worse than this one to me. I haven't put that back together yet, but you know what I mean. Look how well that's done. But that's glorious. That's really, really nice. Beautiful work, and I really like the finish on this titanium. This has got wear on it, obviously, but if we do get that new one, if we can have exactly this finish, I think that looks beautiful. This G10 one is 9.5. This one is basically, you know, 0.2 mil over. This whole thing does feel very quality, very nicely made. You know, these are all nice and smooth, these edges. There's no, and like I said, that back spring. Do prefer having one side. I think the layout of this is much nicer, and although this one never seems necessary because it always just falls out on its own when you take this apart, so it doesn't seem like it's taking any tension. But also having these all captive, and just having one side to take apart that is bliss. They're all still T8, but having them, it's a free spinning barrel, and I think they both go into barrel. Although that said, I never took any of this side out. These are the ones that came out, so it might be like a sec screw, but either way, obviously they both spin. So I would like to see captive if we get a new one, although I'm sure they'll go this route with the hardware. I'll do a look out for this on my spring strength chart. This will be on there. I'll just put old UKPK or old TI UKPK, but it's definitely lighter. This is a lot to have in your pocket, a lot of money to have in your pocket. I mean, this is a lot of money to have in your pocket, but it's a lot easier to get over £80 with the same blade steel than it is over 200. So there's that to consider, and I completely understand. As a person who regularly carries, you know, £300 knives, and I know I'm in a lovely position because I've made this, you know, my hobby to do on YouTube. I can help justify the price. I'm not sure I'd be doing that if I didn't have a YouTube channel, kind of thing. Not that it's monetized or anything, but you know, it gives me an excuse I can justify these purchases in my head to myself. If I didn't have the YouTube channel, I don't know how much I'd carry this. I think I still would, but it is a lot of money. We'll see how much the new one is if they bring it out. I'll get one regardless because of the channel, but you know, hopefully it's around the same price. I would say £200 would be fine, especially if they have an updated steel. I'm completely fine with S30V. Even if they release it exactly the same as this, I'm buying one and I will be happy with the steel. But if they could do a nice, like a more exciting steel, you know, we've got the S30V one here, that would be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, thank you very much, Matt, for the chance to look at this. This is a wonderful piece of Spyderco history right here, and hopefully we can revive that and get another run going. But I think this is a stunning looking piece. I'd love to have this in my pocket. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.